Regional Research Laboratory, Thiruvananthapuram. He is a scientist to review D-Lit, Science in Sanskrit. He also served as a visiting scientist at University of Alberta, Canada. Dr. Gopalakrishnan holds 6 patents in science and technology and has authored around 50 research articles. He was a visiting faculty member in various universities, both in abroad and India. Thank you. Welcome you, sir.
Most respectful dear family members, I feel thrilled and I feel so happy to participate in such a wonderful program. This program, as you all very well know, that connected with National Science Day, and that is connected with the discovery of Raman effect, one of the meritorious, very wonderful discovery ended in Raman spectra. An excellent discovery of India, contribution of India, and you know that it has not only brought Indian science, Indian knowledge, Indian people, Indian scientists in front of the world scientific scenario, but also it gave a fantastic boost to Indians working for Indian freedom. Dr. C.V. Raman told, I am very much convinced that the intellectual capacity of Indians is at par with any scientist in any country world over. Unfortunately, we have got an inferiority complex which pulls us down. Once our inferiority complex is erased off, then we can lead the world. We can lead the world. These words, and also he told the students very specifically, 1,000 rupees worth equipment and $1 million worth hard work will definitely give you Nobel Prize. So 1,000 rupees worth equipment, $1 million worth hard work. And he was so proud to say that I am an Indian. And he projected India wheresoever he could get the opportunity. And we remember the great contribution of many of the Indian scientists in India and abroad. Now I am slowly coming to an area of Indian scientific heritage very specifically. I was fortunate enough to receive the Doctor of Literature degree D.Lit, first Indian scientist to get directly from UGC in 2001. I feel so happy for the very specific contribution of science in Sanskrit. Why we should learn Indian scientific heritage. Every student, every prestigious personality sitting in front of me, I would like to say 3 reasons are there for us to remember about the scientific contribution of India or real Indian science. That may be wrong to say. There is nothing like Indian science, as the previous speaker very clearly said that science is universal. There is no caste, creed or any other boundary for science. So we can say Indian contribution to science and technology. Really we knew pretty well for long back. We used to say Shastram kramayudam jnatva yakaroti sasiddhibhak. Every study conducted systematically and every systematic study conducted, that is the basis of science. Kramayudam jnata, a systematic study of any subject, that will be leading to scientific results, rewards and contributions. We should learn Indian scientific heritage, very specifically number one, to say proudly that I am an Indian and Indians contributed to the science and technology profusely, and it definitely will create a sense of pride in us. That is the number one, creating a patriotic and a nationalistic spirit. Just like we say, our people won the cricket match. We could get gold and silver and bronze medal in Olympics. Definitely we will be getting a spirit of patriotism and nationalism. Like that Indian contribution to the world will create a patriotic and a nationalistic spirit which is no way negative anywhere in the world. Second thing, whatever we discovered, whatever we invented, these materials have to be shown to the world very systematically. We used to say, not blah blahing, just to say that we have discovered, this we have discovered. I was so proud to say that when I visited Cambridge University, and one of the mathematics professor, to him I gave my Doctor of Literature D.Lit thesis. He went through that, and the professor of Cambridge University giving a shake hand and said, really Dr. Gopal, I feel happy, because many people from India and other places claim that we have discovered that and we have discovered this is our contribution, this is Indian contribution, that contribution, this contribution. But you have given the correct reference, the name of the book, the name of the author, when it was written, and very systematically you have given that one, and this we will be using in our studies in the Cambridge University for the pre-graduate students. I felt so happy. I gave one copy to him also. So what we have to say to the world, that we discovered this one and we invented this one, not merely for showing a beyond level over pride or negative pseudo pride or something, but our nation, our motherland, we have discovered Gregory's theorem by Vyasat Manasangunitat Pradagaptam Tri Adi Ayug Vimulaganaihi Vyase Trinigne Kramashaha Swamranam Krutwapi Paridhirane Yuku. Time is limited, so I am not going to give a detail, but this is the theorem written by Vadeshwara during 747 AD. The book is available and it is published by Indian National Science Academy, Bahadur Shah Safar Marg, New Delhi 2. So quoting from the book and referring the chapter and the line, when we say to the world that we have discovered it, then naturally world will be accepting it, and our place in our science contribution and technology contribution will be automatically getting elevated. We can definitely feel happy also. The third point, very specifically we can say the ancient knowledge available in India, they can be used even today. We can do addition, deletion, modification and correction if necessary, and further we can move forward and utilize in our day-to-day life. One Professor Christie, Ralph Christie, I think his name, he was working in one of the prestigious university in America. He wanted to solve a problem connected with the cyclic quadrilateral problem solving. He searched many books. Finally somebody informed him that there is an Indian book Brahmasputa Siddhantam, written by Brahmagupta 505 AD. You go through that one, major part of that book is cyclic figures of geometry. He went through that one and he could solve his problem, and he declared that I could solve my problem using Brahmasputa Siddhantam. He lived only about 2 years, and after that, due to cancer, he passed away. But he noted that this is Indian book which helped me to solve the problem. So like this, not only Ayurveda, not only Stapatya Veda, Ayurvedic books, Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, similarly Vagbadacharya's Ashtanga Sangraham, Ashtanga Hridayam, so many books are there in which purely scientific informations are also available, very systematically connected with the medicinal component which the world is searching for. The world is searching for two type of medical system. One, patient oriented drug, POD, patient oriented drug. That is Indian system. Western system, drug oriented patient. Drug oriented patient, whatever may be your health problem, the doctor will write a medicine and you can go directly to the medical shop and purchase and utilize it. But in olden days, Ayurveda, very specifically they used to prepare each medicine for a specific patient. Maybe a child, maybe a pregnant woman, maybe an old man, or maybe having diabetics, or maybe having blood pressure. So accordingly, the patient oriented drug system existed in India for thousands and thousands of years. Our yoga, you may be knowing that it is coming up very well. Our Stapatya Veda, Vastu Vidya is coming up in a very, very systematic way. Some of the knowledge, many of these knowledge which are now being modified and being utilized in our. So three important parameters based on which we have to learn that. One, feeling the sense of pride as an Indian. Second, informing the world. Third, utilizing all those knowledge in our day-to-day life, whether in a small way or in a big way. Now, to all those who are participating in this session, I would like to say that if we want to learn, understand the Indian science, Indian scientific contribution, now the best method is different from going to a library, sitting there and then trying to look into the books and searching. It will take a hell of a time. But now you just classify any branch of modern science. Say for example mathematics, astronomy, metallurgy, biotechnology, and like that chemistry, physics, all the modern subjects. Then search in the website, search in the internet what Indian contributions in mathematics. I will give very few examples because time is limited. And remember that most unfortunate thing happened to us Indians. Majority of the mathematics and astronomy books were written in Sanskrit. We are ignorant about Sanskrit language. We cannot understand much about it. That is one point. Second, still serious point is that not even a single person in Kerala, in general, very specifically one or two are there in Trivandrum, they or he or she does not know, they do not know what is meant by Bhaskara number system and what is meant by Aryabhata number system, what is meant by Kadabayadi number system. Those who are attending this wonderful session, at least I would like to say three words you should remember: Bhaskara number system, Aryabhata number system, Kadabayadi number system. Without these number system, not even a single person in the world can understand what is the contribution of mathematics and astronomy from India. See, what is Bhaskara number system? Bhaskaracharya wrote Laghu Bhaskariyam, Brihad Bhaskariyam in AD 629. Two books written in the same year, in which he used earth, Bhumi, and synonym of earth, number one, Rupam, number one, eyes, ears, hand, leg in Sanskrit, and then its synonym, Hastam, Karam, Padam, Netram, Nayanam, Akshi, Shrotram, Karnam, All these words give number 2. I am not going detail, just information. And you see, wherever netram is used, there you have to put 2. Wherever hastam is used, number 2. Wherever padam is used, number 2. Instead of writing 2, these words are used. So sandhya, sandhya, prada sandhya, madhyana sandhya, sayam sandhya, 3 sandhya. So instead of 3, you will be writing sandhya. Rama, Parashurama, Balarama, Sri Rama. 3 Ramas are there. So Rama means 3 number. It's no way connected with religion. Guna, Sattoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Guna and its synonym means 3. Veda means 4. Aranya means 4. Panjabhutam, Bhuta means 5. Panjendriyam, Indriya means 5. Shad Rasam, Rasam means 6. Saptaswaram, Saptarishi, Rasam means 7. So wherever we are writing Rasam, that means 7. And remember that if you do not know, if we do not know this particular number system, then majority of the theorems written, majority of the scientific and geometrical parameters written in our books, nobody can understand. Almost the use of that particular number ended about 1.5 centuries, 150 years back, it got stopped. Similarly, Katapayadi number system, all the Kerala based books, all the Kerala based mathematics books were written. Say for example, Kerala University has published Karana Paddhati. Karana Paddhati is a wonderful super textbook. English mathematicians went through that so thoroughly, and Professor Wilst declared that if Nobel Prize would have been there in 1448 AD, 1448 AD, that Nobel Prize would have been gone to Pudumana Somayaji of Tirur, Alathiyur, Malappuram district, because such a fantastic book, 6th chapter, contains 28 theorems. The book is available with me. The book is also available in Kerala University. But the book, nobody can understand it because we are ignorant about Kadapayadi number system. So Aryabhata number system is the 3rd number system, without which learning Aryabhatiya book written during 499 AD, March 21st Sunday at 1 o'clock. You know, Aryabhatiya was completed AD 499, March 21st Sunday at 1 o'clock, which was his 23rd birthday. And the next day, 23rd birthday, next day he got appointment as Vice Chancellor of Nalanda University. But we are ignorant, we do not know about it. So remember that we have to learn this. We have to. I am not telling that you should learn, but to understand Indian history of mathematics. Then, say for example, the value of pi written 1500 years. Chaturadhigam Sadamashtagunam Dvashashtistada Sahasrana Ayudadvaya Vishkambasya Asanno Sa Vrittavarinaha. 4 plus 100 into 8, 832 plus 62,000 will be the circumference of a circle having 20,000 diameter. Just divide, you will be getting the value of pi. Like this, hundreds and hundreds. Many people used to say, we Indians discovered Pythagoras theorem. But it is written during 600 BC Bauddhayana Sulbha Sutram. Dirgha Chadurasrasya Kshanaya Rajjuhu Parchomani Tidyanmani Cha Yat Pratak Bhude Kuritastad Ubhayam Karoti. When you are taking a rectangle, the diagonal of the rectangle is equal to the square of the base plus the square of the height. That is equal to the square of the diagonal. This is the first Pythagoras theorem written by Bauddhayana, which can be told as Bauddhayana theorem. And now sin theta, cos theta, tan theta. First theorem written during 1448 by Pudumana Somayaji. We in Kerala have got a tremendous, very good number of mathematicians and astronomers. In Irinyalakuda, we have got Sangamagrama Madhavacharya. Sangamagrama means Irinyalakuda, Madhavacharya, and in Alathiyur, Pudumana Somayaji, and Shankaravarman of Tirur, and Achyuta Pisharadi of Trikandiyur. All these people have written fantastic mathematics. All these books are with me, so I am not merely claiming that these books are. I used these theorems for my delete thesis also. So, the first theorem written using sin theta cos theta is by Pudumana Somayaji. Chabaccha tattat baladobi tadvat chabahadadyadi hadatrimaurya labdhani yugmani balanya dodas chabada yugmani cha vistarardhat vinyasya jobat yuparitya tacheshau bhuja kodi guna upaveda. Bhuja means r sin theta, kodi means r cos theta. Divide, you will be getting tan theta. First theorem written in the world. That book, as I told earlier, is available here. Grigory's theorem. Vyasat manasangunitat pradagaptam tri adi ayut vimulaganaihi vyase trinigne kramasah swam kranam krtvapi paridinaneiho. I know that whenever I explained it in Sanskrit, it is very difficult for you to understand. I am explaining not to convince you that such and such theorems were here, but to inform you. Just to inform you that our contributions in the field of mathematics is something super. Not merely the area of triangle, not merely the area of a circle, not merely some of the progressions, arithmetic progressions and geometrical progressions. These are all given in fantastically super way in books written in by a group of scientists in Lucknow University, and also Vishweshwarananda Vishwavidyalaya, and also Patiala University. These books are still available in Sanskrit plus transliterated Sanskrit. I am just telling you, these are in mathematics. Come to the point of astronomy. Mrit Jala Shighi Vayumayo Bhugola Sarvato Vritta. This again is in Aryabhatiya. 1000 years prior to Sir Isaac Newton, Magellan, Copernicus, Galileo, AD 499, Aryabhata wrote the line Mrit, that is soil, Jala, Vayumayo, Bhugola. Mrit Jala Shighi. Shighi means fire. Fire. In the center core of earth, fire. Mrit Jala Shighi Vayumayo Bhugola Sarvato Vritta. Sarvato Vritta means wheresoever you are looking, that it will be circular, just like we are seeing the sun or moon. But the word Bhugola, Nila Bhuvyasaha, 1050 is yojana is the diameter of earth. 1 yojana means 12.11 kilometer. Just to see, Pranayanayadi Kalambuhu Brahmayati, the time taken for one breath, 4 seconds. During that period, earth rotates through 1 angular minute. Earth rotates through 1 angular minute. So, rotation of earth, diameter of earth, Bha Apakramo Grahamsha, 24 degrees the declination of earth. Declination of earth. So, these are all the knowledge existed here. The book is available. Again, I am repeating that line to say that to inform you that these are all not imaginary, somebody wrote in somewhere and we are just quoting it. All these books and interpretations are available in English and Hindi and in other languages. And also you see, Udayo yo Lengayam, when the sun rises, you are watching that from Lenga. You are standing in Lenga and watching the rising of sun. Udayo yo Lengaya. So Astamayo Savidureva Siddhabure. The same sun sets in Gautimala. Siddhapuram Gautimala. Madhyanova Yavakotyam. In Korea, at that time, it will be noon, mid-noon. Romaga Vishaye Ardharatram Syat. In Rome, it will be midnight. So when sun rises in Lenga, it will be noon in Korea. It will be setting sun in Gautimala. It will be midnight in Rome. This is also written 1500 years ago by Aryabhata. Anuloma gadirnausta pashyatyajalam vilomagam yaddad ajalani bhani saddad samapaschimagani lengaya. You know, when the boat is moving towards one direction and you are standing in that boat, the trees on either side, you will see that when they are moving backward, just like we are traveling the train, just like that, the earth rotates towards east, from west to east. The earth rotates so that you can see the sun and other celestial bodies moving towards west. Anuloma gadirnaustaha pashyati ajalam vijlomagam yaddat ajalani bhani taddat samapaschimagani lengaya. If you are just going through Aryabhatiya, fantastic book, written nearly more than 1500 years, you will get almost all the details about the Grahanam, eclipse also. You can see Chadayadi Shashi Suryam Shashinam Mahadi Bhuchaya. Chadayadi Shashi Suryam. And the moon shadows the sun. Chadayadi Shashi Suryam Shashinam Mahadi Bhuchaya. The great shadow of the earth that will be covering the moon. Tat Samburnam iti Grahana Madhyam. If it is full, that is known as Grahanam, as a complete Grahanam. I am quoting this just to see and show you that our contributions, far prior to the Western contributors, put it to the world. A super and very logical. Anybody anywhere in India with his or her simple knowledge, very simple knowledge in their own mother tongue, can understand the Sanskrit written in Aryabhatiya. And Aryabhata supposed to be born and brought up in Kodungalur, Kranganur, we old name, now Kodungalur. So he was a Keralite too. This is astronomy. And now you come to the next stage. You can see metallurgy. The standing proof is that Delhi iron pillar, 7 ton weighing, 21 feet height, and that iron pillar which was known as Vishnu Stamba, it is made 50 BC, 50 BC. And you can see it was the first iron pillar forge welded, and without rusting it stands till now. Still it stands. That is the wonder of that. It has not rusted in spite of the fact that sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide from Mathura library coming to this area of Mehrauli. And forge welding technology used during then, 30 pounds of circular bit they forge welded at 1140 degrees centigrade. Remember that during a period when there was no coal, coke, electricity or diesel, our people 2030 years ago or 40 years ago could make such an iron pillar, a standing proof of iron technology. Similarly, Dhar iron pillar, huge iron pillars made in Dhar, Madhya Pradesh, still you can see it has not rusted. More than 1000 years those pillars are still there. So iron technology. Now you can see the copper technology beautifully. Fahian and Huyansan, they have written that 100 feet idol, 100 feet high idol of Shakya Muni, Sri Buddha, weighing 1 ton, was there in front of Nalanda University, and the copper used for making Shakyamuni's idol was 4 9 copper. Super way of explanation. 4 9 copper What is 49 copper? 99.99. 4 nines are there. 99.99% copper was there in that 1 ton weighing. During that period, they could make such a fantastic copper with the purity almost 100%. And remember that Pauling method used now, electrolytic refining method used now, blistering used now, and bessemerization used now. All these technologies were not there during that period. Still they could make copper. And remember that one of the best piece of zinc sheet is a DNC zinc sheet excavated from Athens. Remember that it was written BC 600. It was written in Pali and Sanskrit, Takshashila. This zinc excavated from Athens. So remember, having the name Takshashila, it was pure zinc excavated, big sheet. So the technology used for the making of zinc, which is an unusual technology. Compared to all other metals, this is different. And brass vessels used world over. And Sanskrit, it is known as Swarnakaraka. It was made in India. From all over India, such materials were there. You may be knowing, at least somebody might have told you that the real negative or painful thing connected with the brass of India, when Socrates was given hemlock poison, somebody asked him, what is your last wish before death? And he told, I would like to get my poison in Indian brass vessel, in Greek. So I respect India. In my next birth, I would like to be an Indian. So give me the hemlock poison in brass vessel. So Indian brass vessel made by combining copper and zinc was so super. And Indian bronze, super again. Tin metallurgy existed in India. And remember, one champion, Champion, he really plagiarized and smuggled the technology of making zinc from Rajasthan to London. That in the 16th century. Whereas we used to make pure zinc and also we used to make pure brass about 600 BC onwards. So the story of our metallurgical concept is something beyond the level of imagination. When we take mathematics, when we take astronomy, when we take metallurgy, then a very simple thing. Even now you may be knowing that biotechnology, where we were standing. In the biotechnology, we were so much forward. You know, Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, written during 500 BC. They were all giving the explanation to make aristas and asavas. Even now you go to Kottakkal Aryavaidya Pharmacy, Coimbatore Aryavaidya Pharmacy, or any Nagarjuna Pharmacy, or for that Vaidyaratnam Pharmacy, you can see all type of aristas are there. The methodology, the technology used for making all these aristas is even today they were all making directly through the fermentation technology. The technology used 2500 years ago and technologies used for making these aristas and asavas, even today they remain the same, not very much different. So our technology to make fermented food using fermented medicine, fermented items were so super, and the knowledge still now continued. We can never say that they are all primitive knowledge, because you know I have taken my PhD in biochemistry, and also microbiology was a part of my post-graduation degree. And remember that handling the microbes is not that easy. Any adulteration, any problem will be creating ketone bodies in the fermented product. Naturally, it will be leading to death. So, fermentation of aristas, Ashoka arista, Draksha arista, Jeeraga arista, Dhanvantara arista, all these aristas, nearly 25 types of aristas are there and 25 types of asavas are there. They were, they are and they will be produced in Kerala and other parts of Ayurvedic manufacturing sector through the fermentation technology adopted in India centuries, millennia back. So our technology is not that bad. Now you just see our painting technology, Ajanta, Ellora paintings and the paintings in many of the Chola, Chera, Pandya, Pallava temples. All those paints are still remaining intact. Ajanta painting, Ellora painting, nearly 2000 years ago, the color has not faded, the beauty has not come down. If at all it has come down due to the disturbance of the creepers. When the creepers plants were removed, some of these colors might have gone. So our technology connected with the painting, so it was also super. Our technology connected with the fermentation, very systematically it is explained, the books are available and practices are still continued and we can see that. When you are going to the textile, Benaras muslin sari and Kanchipuram sari, that is unimaginary level. During 500 BC, 600 BC, 700 BC, Kanchipuram saris used to be exported to different civilizations in the Middle East and far, Mesopotamia, Babylonia and so on. So sari making and the thin gold filament and also silver filament as border incorporated in the saris are really super. And our textile technology is no way inferior to anywhere, but it is the supermost technology. Just I am giving an example. And also Benaras muslin sari. You may be knowing that Alexander invaded to India during 330 BC. While returning from India, due to the advice of Philippus and Seleucus, he carried 30 pounds of wood steel. 30 pounds of wood steel given to him by Peshwar creator, Purishapura creator. And that 30 pounds of steel, rustless steel, known as wood steel, and that steel he took to Damascus and made Damascus sword, not directly by him, but he took half a dozen blacksmith from Benaras, and they helped Alexander to make Damascus sword, which was formerly known as Benaras sword. Since Alexander made it in Damascus, it is known as Damascus sword. The beauty of Damascus sword or Benaras sword is that when you just hang Benaras muslin sari from top to bottom, just give a cut with this Damascus sword or Benaras sword, you can see that the sari will be cut into two. That much sharp or sharpest was Damascus sword made by wood steel given by our Indian rulers during then, that is 2030 years back. And remember that 22,000 chisels were taken from India in camels to make the pyramid of Egypt. The chisels were taken from India. And the history of iron, history of chisel making, history of sword making, history of wood steel making, and history of steel ingots making, as we have explained it in Delhi Iron Pillar. These are all knowledge which are foolproof knowledge available even today. And all the people who are participating in this one, Remember that you may not be in a position to go to Mohenjo-daro or Harappa, but you can go to, Takshashila also you cannot go because all these places are in Pakistan. But if you get time, positively you should visit Lothal. Lothal, about 200 kilometers from Ahmedabad. A beautiful place. The meaning of Lothal means burial ground. If you go there, you can see a fantastic industrial estate in Lothal, where so many rooms are there, and an artificially created harbour is there, 1 square kilometer. That artificially created harbour, the port, and from there 16-mile long artificial channel to Arabian Sea. Import and export taken place in Lothal 3500 BC. 3500 BC means nearly 55 centuries ago, and nearly 1 lakh bricks are used for building the industrial estate. It is still remain intact. The well, the road, the street light and the rooms, everything still intact. I had gone there and I am fortunate enough to visit it directly, and 1 million bricks are used for making the artificial harbour. It still remain intact. So our bricks making technology, ceramics technology 55 centuries ago still remain as a proof for us to understand what was Indian technology. And I am sure you take any branch of knowledge, all these places you can see Indian contribution, not to create a false sense of pride, but to create a powerful knowledge about India. Now, if you happen to come to Padmanabha Swami temple or Shuchindran temple or Kumbhakonan temple or Chidambaram temple or Rameshwaram temple, or like that, we have got Kanchipuram temple. Just to see how the granites were carved. And during a period when there was no electric machinery, there was no modern facilities to carve, to cut the granite, and 910 ton weighing granite is consecrated in front of Sri Padmanabha Swami Sri Lakam Sanctum Sanctorum, and it is fixed Ottakal Mandapam, single stone Mandapam. How it could be brought there, how it could be carved, how it is placed there. 10.25 meter long, 10.25 meter width, 1.25 meter height. This is that single stone granite, beautifully carved single stone mandapam. And you can see 1000 pillar musical mandapams are there. Like that, the same musical mandapam in Shuchindram, Kumbhakonam, Kanchipuram, Rameshwaram, and so on places. 7 places, 7 temples, 1000 pillar musical temple. If you put your ears in one of the pillar and hit the second pillar, you will be getting the musical sound. Remember that 1000 pillar containing musical mandapam was created nearly 700, 800, 900 or even 1 millennia ago. During a period there was no quick fix or fevicol. No quick fix, no fevicol. If the pillar got broke while carving, no electric machinery was available. Only the crude whatsoever we say, the old machineries were available for carving the 1000 number pillar. And if it breaks, you cannot solve the problem by covering with something, because it should not break, it will not break. That, not only that, if you make the 1 kilometer long Pradakshina Mandapam, in the top you can see 1.25 foot width 1.25 foot, height 23 feet long. Granite pillars were put cross and 1 kilometer Pradakshina Mandapam created in between. A particular type of cement existed during then known as surki was put. Not even a single drop of water will be flowing if you are doing Pradakshina even during the most severe rainy season. Such was the capacity of granite carving in Padmanabha Swami temple, Chidambaram temple, Shujindra temple, Kumbakonam temple and all other temples, Kanchipuram temple. And the particular natural type of cement put there, it still remain intact for centuries and centuries. If you happen to go to this temple, just to see how these granite walls were carved and the pillars were put and the crossbars of granite put when there was no crane, no electrical system. You know, in March 21st and also September 21st, if you stand in East Fort of Padmanabha Swami temple, in front of Padmanabha Swami temple, East Fort, look towards west after 2 o'clock. You can see only in March 21st and September 21st, you can see the sun will be gliding through the 5 windows of this Gopuram, 5 Gopuram. LHS of the Gopuram and RHS of the Gopuram, perfectly the same. And the top stone 97 ton weighing top stone of the Gopuram is kept there. How they could take 97 ton weighing matter to the top of that one? Just remember our technology, the granite technology in Padmanabha Swami temple. And don't worry about the religion or Padmanabha Swami or anything. Only the civil engineering marvel. How they could cut the granite. And around Padmanabha Swami temple, nearly 3 kilometers, very huge granite beams are put as the fort, protection fort. And if you see that one, you can see every carving is addressed with a similar carving of the next pillar, next beam. Such a fantastic, each granite piece can easily weigh nearly 1 quintal, 2 quintal or 3 quintal. Such a fantastic weight, not quintal, even ton. How they could carve it. And remember that the nearest quarry of Padmanabha Swami temple is Tirumala, nearly 10 kilometers away. Nowhere nearer to Padmanabha Swami temple you can see the quarries. So all these granites needed for building Padmanabha Swami temple, the sanctum sanctorum, the single stone mandapam, and all these 1000 pillar music mandapam and Pradakshina mandapam and also Gopuram, everything brought from 10 kilometers away. What was the lorry facility available during then? No lorry, no crane, no transporting system. Still you could see that they did it. Not in Padmanabha Swami temple alone, in Rameshwaram temple also it is done, and also in Kumbakonam so many pillars and Gopurams are there. Kumbakonam temple, Chidambaram temple and so on. Just to look back and search Indian mathematical contribution, Indian astronomical contribution, Indian biotechnology and biological contribution, and Indian textile contribution. Then again chemistry. Nearly 1000 chemistry books are there in Trivandrum Ayurveda College, written in Sanskrit. I have gone through many of these ones. And the librarian always used to say, don't open the books. It's so old it may break. Pages may break. And I opened only the available books permitted by the librarian. Rasaratna, Rasaratna Samuchayam, Rasarnava, and so on. 1000 books are available written in Sanskrit in chemistry, all connected with many of the chemicals. And also coming to the physics, you can see that so many physics words and explanations are there in our heritage books. See, apakarsha paryandam dravyam paramanurevam, inferior most particle of a matter is known as atom paramanu. Paramanu iti prokta jnaninam drishtigojara. What we say as paramanu, only scientists can understand that. So, vichi taranganyayena shabda ulpatti. The sound wave propagates as waves, written nearly 2000 years back in Nyaya Shastra and Vaisheshika. And about blood circulation, dhamanyo rektavahinaha chaturvimshati radhita kulli. Oh yes.
Can we wind up in 5 minutes?
Yeah, I can wait. I am winding up. So remember that all these we can get. Just a blood circulation. We can see the blood circulation. Dhamanyo rektavahinaha chaturvimshati radhita kulya bhirimakedara rastar. Just like water is taken to the paddy field, the blood is taken throughout our body through 24 big blood vessels given in Sangeeta Ratnakara, written during 980. So I have given just an outline. My ultimate interest is to just inform you that our knowledge is not merely the knowledge what we think is scribbled somewhere else, but documents are available. Anyone from your group, if you are searching these knowledge in the internet, definitely you will get. In olden days you have to go to library and search it, but now it is not necessary. My request to you, for creating a sense of patriotism and nationalism, and also to inform the world about Indian contribution, and also utilizing all this knowledge as much as possible in the present day, we can learn it and inform the world. Become learning, teaching, preaching, practicing, acting and reacting. This should be our ultimate goal in the real science field, moving from asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya. We have to move from bad to good and darkness to light. With these words, I would like to conclude, and the allotted time is over 45 minutes. So I would like to express my deepest gratitude to each of the candidates, students, participants and the organizers for inviting me for delivering such a good lecture. I feel so happy that you were all sitting so nicely, and a tele lecture means restlessness will be generally common, but in your case it is not there. My deepest gratitude once again for the organizers and also participants. Thank you very much. My pranams to you.